Okay, in this video, we're going to look at the factory method pattern. So this pattern relies on an abstract method in a base class. So in our case, it's going to be make art. And so this abstract method or creational method is going to return an interface or abstract base class of some model. So in our case, that's going to be the artwork model. Okay. And then over back in our base class where our creational method is, we're going to have our derived classes actually implement that creational method. And so doing it that way, we can return different types of the model that we're returning depending on what derived class we're in. So for example, we're creating artist robots. So we have two types of artist robots. We have the painter robot and then the drawing robot. And so they each have to implement the make art function. And so the painter robot is going to do that and return a painting, while the drawing robot returns a drawing class. And both of these are supposed to implement the artwork even though it's not drawn that way. So anyways, another point here to see is that the factory method pattern allows you to create different objects in a base class that is not a dedicated factory. So our robot class is not a dedicated factory class. In other words, the robot class can do other things than just create and return objects. So one example would be the sell art function. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what we're going to be building. Okay, so this has already started, but we're going to go ahead and reload this. Okay, so basically what we have here are two robots. We have a painter robot and a drawer robot. And so they're creating art and then selling the art for different prices. And then we set, I think, a goal of like $500. And so whichever one reaches that total first is going to win. Okay, painting robot 1, I don't know which one that is, probably this one. But anyways, the code isn't perfect, so the other robot's going to keep going till it finishes. But not a big deal, since this is just an example. But let's go ahead and look at the code. Okay, here's our abstract creational method, make art. And so this is going to be implemented by all the derivations of the robot class. So the robot class is our base abstract class, so the parent class to the painter and drawing robot. So we'll go ahead and look at those. So painting robot. Okay, extends robot, and then this just waits like a certain amount of time, random amount of time, because it takes time to make art. And then it creates a painting. So the important part is the painting robot creates a painting and then it returns it down here. So this derivation returns a painting, and then the drawing robot is going to return a drawing. So they're both implementing the same abstract function, but they're returning different things. And that's the point of the what's it called, factory method pattern. So anyways, now we'll go ahead and look at the models really quick. So we have our artwork, not a big deal. And then we have our painting, not a big deal. And we have our drawing. These two classes are like the same, but for the sake of the example, we're just going to move on. So anyways, here is our client code. And so I'll let you explore this a little more, but basically what's happening is we have our two robots here. One's a drawing one, one's a painting one. And then we're running the raise function when we create the component. Okay, and our goal is 500. Alright, and then this is just like a recursive function. I'll let you look at that if you want. But then we get the result of what we saw in the browser. Okay, so, but the important part here is understanding this function here, and that each derivation of that robot class has to implement it and can return a different type, depending on whatever that derived class is. So yeah, that was the factory method pattern. So thanks for watching, everyone, and catch you in the next one. Bye.